Wow, this series is colorful. Like, the colors. I feel like I'm gonna have a spasm from all the colors in this episode of Rolling Girls. Like, did you see the absurd amount of colors in this episode of the Rolling Girls? Like, episode 3. Like, the backgrounds and the characters, like, oh my god. Like, the colors, the art style, like, man. Are we really sure that this is not made by the fabled Studio Trigger? Like, oh my god, those colors. Like, man, I feel like I'm on some form of drugs or something when I see this episode, because I was like, my god. So, this episode is rather tame and calm compared to the previous 2 episodes. For instance, if you mainly watch this series for the action, most likely you're going to be very disappointed with this episode of the Rolling Girls, because it's not as action-packed as the previous 2 episodes were, and it's mainly just, I guess, finding out more about the Moonlight Stones. That's what this episode really is. I mean, you have that girl at the end sell the 2 stones. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, whoa. So, this girl actually knows that she took this stone away from these people, and it was technically theirs, but she sells it anyways to get what she wants, like a statue. I'm like, you're a bitch. Like, who? Like, it's like me stealing something from you and going out of my way to sell it off to get myself something, even though I know for a fact, you know, I was in the wrong. That's some fucked up shit. Like, why? I'm not a big fan of that girl at the end. I mean, you could say she's cute, kawaii, you could say she looks, like, amazing in that witch-looking outfit, fine. You can say what you want, but her personality is garbage, because she actually just went out of her way to sell someone else's object, their item, their stone, doesn't matter what it is. Just going out of their way to sell something like that to someone else's, that's fucked up, and I don't agree with that at all. So, seeing that girl do that she's on my shit list. She is definitely on my shit list, and she's probably one of the worst characters I've seen thus far from this anime season, because I don't like characters like that. I don't. So, besides the girl selling the stone at the end for her own personal gain, let's talk about what this episode really does. So, the overall meaning of this episode is that these stones, these Moonlight Stones, heart-shaped stones pretty much, are being gathered to do something. Now, we don't know necessarily what they're being gathered for, we still don't know that, but we can assume that it gives some form of power. That's what we can assume from these stones, which is kind of obvious already, but we can assume it gives them some kind of power, and also it helps out the best. Like, we know about the best and the rest, the different people, and we know for a fact that, you know, Machi Green had one of these stones, but they're gone. Like, the stone is gone from her, and supposedly from what we find out is she is not going to be able to heal now. Like, she will not ever recover. So she's going to be in the hospital unless she gets another stone. So it's kind of fucked up. It really is. So that's one of the main, I guess, plot points that's building up here, along with the ending with the girl selling the stones to make a profit, pretty much, and get a fucking statue. I'm like, that's sickening. And, yeah, I mean, there's not much plot when it comes to the episode. It's pretty down-to-earth, basic, simple, and, I mean, for instance, we shouldn't really expect amazing, off-the-wall plot, because this series so far, thus far, from these past 2 episodes, hasn't had, you know, technically any plot, slightly any, and I mean, it's not bad, like I said last week, it's not bad that it has no plot, but to really get this series up and moving and get it actually starting to roll on that hype train, you need to start adding in those plot elements, and they're trying to do it. I see them trying to do it with this episode, which is getting a lot better. It just, the only issue right now is we need a little bit more information on this stuff. I mean, I know what they were trying to do, but we still need a little bit more information before we can truly grasp what this series is really going to be about. I mean, we don't have the full, you know, scope of what this is about at all still. I mean, we see fights, we see best and the rest, and these stones. That's really all we know about at the moment. So we need to know more. We really do. And also, if you're watching this series for the action, this episode most likely was going to be very, very dull, because there's barely any plot, and, you know, there was non-existent action. So anything that you liked from the first 2 episodes, if you didn't care for the plot, pretty much that was absent in this episode, which would cause probably majority of the episode 1 and 2 fans to not really like this episode, and so they need to do something about that. So that's this episode of The Rolling Girls. I mean, it's a good episode. It's enjoyable. I had fun watching it. The art style is just enough for me to actually take the initiative to watch this series, because that art style is just so damn unique from this season. Like, when it comes to the different art styles from the season, it's definitely the Rolling Girls that has one of the best art styles. Like, I mean, it's just unique. It's not the best, but I mean, it's so unique and different from all the others, it just really stands out. And that's what I think is really making Rolling Girls stand out so much recently, is because of that art style. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about this episode of the Rolling Girls? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite moments about it? How do you feel about this episode? How'd you feel about the lack of action? How'd you feel about the slight lack of plot? Even though there was plot, how do you feel about the slight lack of it? Do you feel like the series is starting to pick up, or are you going to actually be dropping this series since this is episode 3? Let me know in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or not, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.